live. Hello. Hello, everybody. Put you there. Hello. Welcome to Thursdays as if by magic Facebook Live. I'm so happy to be here. Hi, everyone joining. Naramata, Hannah, Susanna, Brenda. Hi. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I hope you guys are having a beautiful, magical day. Sabrina, hello, beautiful being. Hi, everybody. I am just having the most wonderful morning so far. We just launched the As If by Magic Masterclass, and I did the first greeting Facebook Live this morning. Hi, Jackie. Nice to see you again. And it was really, we're talking a lot about, hi, Donna. Hi, Brenda. Okay, I'm just going to be saying hi to everyone for half an hour. We were talking a lot about rising magic and leadership in magic. You seem to have time every time I'm live. How did I get so lucky? And when I looked at what I wanted to play with you guys today, one of the biggest topics that was popping was willing to lose, the magic of being willing to lose everything. Oh, I remember the first time I heard this concept. Would you be willing to lose everything? Now, that does not mean that you on purpose lose everything. It doesn't mean that you just, put everything in your house, fill it with gasoline and light it on fire. Hi, Leonie. But it's a willingness to lose everything. And so I kind of had this sense of, you could say as a child, there were certain things that because I didn't have the easiest, most kindest childhood, I would find things for comfort, for coping, and I would hold on to those things desperately. And I had thought that those things that I was holding on to were the things that were going to keep me safe, were the things that were going to get me through it, were the things that kept me going. How many of you have ever had that? Things or people that kept you going, that got you through it. They're my rock. This is if I didn't have my dog, I don't know how I'd be living right now. If I didn't have this, if I didn't have that. Hi, Alicia. And what's so interesting about that is that you've now taken something outside of you and you've decided that you need it. You've decided that you're not strong enough on your own, and that this thing that you're using to hold on to, this thing that you're using to as your security blanket is going to be the thing that's going to get you through. Leonie says, what an awesome topic today. I was looking at this too. Cool. So now some of these things that we are not willing to let go of are not just objects or items or people. It can actually be aspects of ourselves that we decided are the thing that gets us through. So for some people, it's their mind. For other people, it's their looks, their aesthetics. It can be their ability to take anything. Their ability to shut down, to shut out the world. Their ability to run as fast as you can, to create comfortable distance. It can be all of these abilities that we have decided that without them we wouldn't survive. Whew. Yep. So when you have an unwillingness to lose something, you're creating this form and structure around it, this need of it, which all needs are inventions. Sorry to tell you that. I know I've said that before, but all needs are. Hi, Jennifer. So what have you decided and defined and concluded that if you lost this, everything would fall apart, or you would fall apart, or you wouldn't be able to survive? Everything that is times a Godzilla. His access conscious clearing statement. Will you distrain and create it, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So those of you that are new to access consciousness and new to the clearing statement, it's just a magical set of words that we use to clear energy. And you can get more information at theclearingstatement.com. And there's about a 20-minute video with the co-founder of Access Consciousness, which is what we play with in Is It by Magic. So Leonie says, can we truly lose anything as infinite beings? Oh, thanks, Alicia, for posting that. Yeah, we can't. And it's the illusion of it and the illusion of the need of it that limits us. So would you be willing to lose it all to gain it all? So how many of you have actually had that horrible breakup? Like, just like, I remember my high school boyfriend. He broke up with me kind of like 3 times. But the last time I knew it was for real, and I was like broken. Like, I remember, like, I can't breathe. Like, I can't breathe without him. There was so much significance that I had put on our relationship and him as a person in my life. Whew. And, but what's so amazing is on the other side of that breakup, I actually had to acknowledge, one, that I didn't die because I'm here, and also that there was a potency and a power in me that I wasn't stepping into, I wasn't acknowledging, and I wasn't exploring because I was too busy exploring him. So this can happen sometimes with all sorts of things that we lose. Oh, it's crazy. You just messaged your ex before this call. Oh, interesting. Well, maybe that's why I'm talking about relationships. So I read this recently where Gary said, if I lose anything, I'm never concerned because I know that there's something greater. There's something greater for me. So I've been applying that to my life, and I've been looking at the people, the things that I haven't been willing to lose. My youngest kid really likes to play this game, Would You Rather? So you take these different scenarios. Would you rather have this scenario? Would you rather have this scenario? And you kind of choose. And often they're like, either they're both scenarios are so good, you're like, oh my God, which one would I choose? Or both scenarios are kind of terrible, and you're like, oh, which one would I choose? So he had asked me the question, would you rather forget who you are or forget everyone you know? And I was like, oh my God, that's really hard. And he said right away, oh, I would just forget who I am, like no big deal. And then I went into all the things that I would think I would lose if I forgot who I was. So I would forget that I'm an Access Consciousness certified facilitator. So what have I defined that is? What meaning have I put on that? What need to be that have I created that I'm not willing to lose it? I wouldn't know I was a mother. I wouldn't know, I wouldn't have, if I forgot who I was, I would forget all these things. But I would also forget all the limitations I had decided about myself. I'd also forget how I'm not good at, what am I not good at? Rollerblading. Maybe I'm really good at rollerblading, but I fell down on my butt real hard. But I would lose that. I wouldn't know that. I wouldn't know that I'm not good at rollerblading. So I might go rollerblading again. I wouldn't know that I had a car accident and that I have to be aware of certain things. So I might injure myself again, or I might not injure myself again because I might be holding it in place just by the memory of it. If I didn't know who I was, I would lose what? What would I actually lose? What would you actually lose? So look at those things. And if you want to, I often say, make a list because I love lists. I'm just a list creator. If you're not, don't worry about it. You can just bring them up. But what are the things that you're not willing to lose? That if you would lose them, would give you everything. Anything that is allowing you to know, be, perceive, and receive that. We destroy and create it, please. Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 9 shorts, boys and beyond. So Leonie says, it's almost like the question, if I know not this, who would I be? Yeah. Who would I be? What would I be? When would I be? Where would I be? How would I be? Cool. So there was a question that someone wrote in about losing their mind, which kind of inspired part of this whole conversation. So you got to look at, where did you make your mind vital, valuable, real, and relevant? So how many of you have an awareness, if I let go of this relationship, my life would expand a million times in every which way? Or if I let go of, maybe the body's coming up. So it's like something you're doing with your body. Maybe you're drinking like 5 cups of coffee a day and your body's like, no, can we please just have 1 cup? Or maybe it's no cups. Maybe you have an allergy to alcohol, but you keep drinking alcohol. Maybe if you let go of that, if you were willing to lose it, then, and you had the awareness that it would set you free. But how often do we not choose that? We stay in that relationship until we can't stay anymore. We stay in that job until we can't stay anymore. We stay in that business partnership until we can't stay there anymore. We abuse our body until our body shuts down and says, you can't anymore. What if you're willing to lose it before it got to that point? Before you got to anguish, before you got to all of that pain and suffering? What would that be like? So what are the things that you're not willing to lose, that if you would lose them would give you everything? Everything that is times a Godsling. We destroy and create it, please. Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. So would you rather hold on to everything you have, or be willing to lose anything and everything to get all of you? Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. Johanna says, oh, I have stayed way too long at things sometimes, just enduring. Yeah, exactly. And there is a power, there's a potency to enduring. There is. And get the sense of the power and potency to choose change for no reason, no justification, no hitting rock bottom, just from awareness. What could you let go of today? Is it your mind? Is it your excuses? Is it your judgment of yourself or your body? Is it your rightness? What could you lose today that would give you all of you right away? It includes all of your magic, all of your mystery, your possibility, all of you being. Anything that doesn't love that, we just try to create it, please. Right and wrong, good and bad, puck and putt, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. Jennifer says, oh, wow, why do I wait? All of me is calling. Yeah. Yep. And that why is such an interesting question, not from going into the circular idea of why, but often we have many reasons and justifications as to why we aren't choosing something. We don't want to hurt someone. We don't want to make the wrong choice. We don't want to. So all of that and everything you bought into that might not even be true. What if that person that you're in relationship with, I knew when I left my husband, so we had been together for 11 years, married for 5. We had 2 little beautiful kids. He was my best friend and mostly my only friend at the time because he gaslit me out of all my friendships. Sorry, I say that lightly because I have worked through that and that's not a light topic for a lot of people. So please don't take it that way. My biggest thing was my fear of hurting him, even though I was enduring all the abuse. My biggest fear was to hurt him, to lose him. So how many of you are not willing to lose anything that would hurt someone else? So you'll hurt you instead. Everything that is time to God, telling me to strain and create it, please, right and wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all 9 charts, boys and beyonds. This went like a lot deeper than I kind of had imagined today was going to go. I was in a very light and airy, magical space before this started, and following the flow of consciousness. This is just what's coming out today, and it's really quite beautiful, actually. Willing to even lose those expectations and projections, willing to lose control. More and more, especially as a facilitator, I would get on like in a Facebook Live situation. And I would be like, okay, so what I'm going to talk about. And I kind of have like this idea. And then I would go and I would like, if I started to veer, because the X-Men that I am, I often have like all these pops of awareness. And so I'll kind of lose where I'm going. And then I would like always try and come back and always try and come back and always try and come back. And the beautiful thing about losing control and being willing to lose control, to be out of control, is that you just follow the stream of consciousness and speak to whatever is showing up and just kind of be that mouthpiece. And that's one of the gifts of my life, is that I get to show up and be that and do that. Johanna says misguided loyalty. Yeah, and you know what? What if you guys ever looked at loyalty? Used to be a big one for me. It was one of my traits. And it was something that I was not willing to lose because I had made it very right about myself. I was a loyal friend. I was a loyal girlfriend. I was a loyal daughter. I was a loyal older sister. I was a loyal little sister because I have one on each side. And I would be loyal to someone above being loyal to me. So how many of us are holding on to things and not letting go of things, or being loyal to others when it means you can't be loyal to you and what's true for you? How much does all of that actually suppress and compress the magic that you are? Everything that is terms of Godzilla, you're just trying to create it. Please, right, wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, only insurance, boys and beyonds. Jennifer says, so beautiful. Thank you for following the energy so much. And Johanna says, exactly. Yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you for being this space and this receiving for this conversation today. So I've worked with magicians for over 3 years now, okay, specifically magic stuff. So I've been an access consciousness facilitator for much longer than 3 years, but 3 years I've been actively looking and facilitating the topic of magic dynamically. And often, more and more often than not, what I discover within the people that I'm engaging with and facilitating is that somewhere they have vowed, they have a loyalty of some sort to not be as magical as they are. And they have an unwillingness to totally lose all the limitations around being as magical as they are, an unwillingness to lose control with their capacities. What would your life be like if you were willing to lose everything and willing to gain anything that would make your life greater? Leonie says, oops, loyalty, being the good girl. Yeah. Let's give that up. Right and wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Tracy says, wow, yes. Yeah. Lots of energy. So how many lifetimes have you vowed loyalty to not be as magical or not expose to others how magical you truly are? And others includes you. Right and wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. People ask me things like, money showing up as if by magic. You will stop your own magic. You will stop yourself from having that if it means that you're going against a loyalty, a vow to someone or something, to not have anyone know how magical you are, because it's, wow, because otherwise you would have to hide the money that you create as if by magic. Beth says, yes, loyalty to others over myself. Thank you for showing me this. You're so welcome. And what is possible to choose if you are most loyal above all others to you and to the consciousness of you? Marina says, wow, thank you. And Tracy says, yes, and choosing people who disprove your magic. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's brilliant. It's a brilliant creation to choose people that disprove your magic. How many of you know someone that they keep having clients, or they work on bodies and no change seems to be happening? Well, it's a great way to draw in all the clients that will disprove your magic. Everywhere you've been there and done that, could we just train and create it, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. When I'm going to tell you something, you only prove that which you do not believe is true. So what do I mean by that? So if you're trying to prove that you don't have magic, if you're trying to prove that you cannot create money as if by magic, if you're trying to prove that you have to hold on to everything or you're not going to survive, if you're trying to prove any of these things, then somewhere you know that you are magical, or you wouldn't be trying to prove that you're not. You would have to acknowledge that you can lose anything and everything and always have you. You would have to acknowledge that you can create money as if by magic. Anything that you are trying to prove. So if you're trying to prove that you don't have magic or disprove your own magic, then somewhere you know how magical you are. So if you would like to, you can actually give that up. You can actually give up the quest to disprove your magic if you'd like to. It's a choice. You can lose that entirely. And for those of you that would like to, anything that doesn't allow you to lose that, times a godzillion, we destroy and creative, please, right and wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. Yes, Tracy's willing. Yeah, Tracy. So what else are you willing to lose to uncover the magic that you are? Who and what are you willing to lose? And again, that doesn't mean because you're willing. Like, I love my 2 little boys. They contribute so much to my life, to my body. I am committed to them dynamically. They are precious to me. And it took me a really long time, but I got to the place where I was willing to lose them. And it actually set all of us free and opened up this big space. And then their potency started to grow greater. So I couldn't actually even deny that my unwillingness to lose them wasn't a contribution to them either. So I haven't lost them because a willingness to lose them doesn't mean I choose to lose them. It doesn't mean I, drop them off on the corner and see if they find their way home. You don't lose them in a grocery store. You don't actively choose to lose something to have a willingness. It's just a willingness. So Tracy says, willing to lose me, my cats, my job, my home. It's all changing anyways. Yeah. And that opens up that space for that change, that huge change. And often the thing that you're contracting around and the thing you're most unwilling to lose, Gary talks about, we will sabotage those things. So if you're like, he talks actually a story about a woman who she valued above all her hair. She actually was like, this is the best thing about me. This is the most valuable thing about me. I would never be willing to lose my hair. And then she actually got cancer and had to go through chemotherapy and lost all her hair. And she was shattered. She was devastated. And Gary worked with her and worked through it. And part of what came out was the awareness that to set ourselves free, we will sabotage ourselves to destroy the things that we are not willing to let go of. Now, I don't want to scare any of you. This isn't all the time. This isn't something to make you fear that you're going to destroy your relationship or destroy your house and all these things. But it can occur, especially those that are like demanding more and more consciousness. Because it is a limitation, is a huge limitation that you are putting in your own world. And the more you build up the stronghold, the stranglehold of this need, this form and structure over this thing that you've decided that you're not willing to lose, then if you want to go beyond that, you have no choice but to lose it. But if you have a willingness to lose everything, then you can choose, what would you like to have in your life? Who would you like to have in your life? And if you look at aspects of you, so maybe it's your mind, you're not willing to lose your mind, it's your most valuable thing, that mind of yours, right? But if you're willing to lose it, then you can choose to lose it. You can choose to keep it. You can choose to lose some of it. You can choose to keep some of it. You can choose to access it when you require it. You can choose to never access it again. You have all space, all choice. And we talk about this in relationship. Some of you have really kind, caring, wonderful partners. Maybe they've been your rock. Maybe they've been your inspiration. Maybe you create with them all the time. And a willingness to lose them just means that you actually have a lot more space and they get a lot more space. And can you perceive the magic seeping in that willingness to lose everything? Yeah. So there's a beautiful phrase in Access is everything falling apart or is everything falling together? So I've had those moments where I'm like, oh my God, it's like so much intense change in a short amount of time. And all these things that I had decided and concluded, all of these, like I was making all these predictable futures all over the place. And then someone came along and they wrecked my predictable futures, those jerks. Not acknowledging my creation in that. And then it was like everything was falling apart. I was falling apart. I was like, my very being is falling apart. And this beautiful question, is it falling apart or is it falling together? Oh, yeah. Oh, Tracy says this calm is opening up so much space and perspective. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. I really appreciate that feedback. Thank you. I desire these conversations to be a contribution. So you might want to look at those things that you haven't been willing to lose and just run some clearings, get some clarity, ask some questions. What have you decided would happen if you did lose them? Did lose it? Did lose this aspect of you? What would happen if you lost your mind? Do you think you wouldn't be able to drive a car anymore? Or you wouldn't be able to feed yourself? What have you decided would happen if you lost whatever it is you've decided? What would happen if you lost your best friend? What would happen if you lost your cat, your children? And then when you come to that space, and Leonie said it up in the beginning, can you actually lose anything? No. You can pretend it. You can create an energy around it. You can separate yourself by putting up energetic barriers, but they're not real. They're just an invention, just like your need of anything is an invention. So if you did lose a partner and you are willing to acknowledge that it was a change, that you don't actually lose anything unless you decide that you're going to lose something, unless you create that separation, then you get to still have their energy in your life. You can still have all of it in your life. Tracy says 51st Dates, awesome film on waking up with no memory. Yeah, yep. That's such a good one. And that's it. Gary recommends that movie too. Yeah. So what are you unwilling to lose that if you were willing to lose it, just willing to lose it, would give you more of your magic uncontrolled than you ever imagined could be possible? Anything that doesn't allow that to strain and creative, please, right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 9 shorts, boys and beyond. Thank you, everyone. What an interesting turn this conversation took. I hope you got something out of it. I hope it was a contribution. Really grateful for these chats and grateful for all the questions that you guys submit, and grateful for your presence here when you jump on live with me. We do this every Thursday, so if this is brand new and you're just showing up, you can join us next Thursday. We'll be here again, same time. We try and do it at the same time every week, but we will post any announcements if that time has to change. Grateful for all of you. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Tracy. Thanks, Alicia. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, you'll be watching again and again. Thank you. And you know what's so cool? So I actually started this Facebook Live talking about this new month, this new possibility, this new masterclass membership that I launched. And one of the beauties of like losing everything, like from that space of like just willing to have. So the last year's membership, the convergence, is now dissipating. It's now changing into something different. I've lost it in a sense, but this new burst of life and possibility is here now. So as we lose even the season that we're in, summer is like my favorite season. And in Canada, it's now we're moving into fall. Being in that awareness of this new possibility every time you let something go and every time you let something transform and evolve and change. And if you put your attention on that new possibility, then how much more ease, joy, and glory can you have with it? So I hope that kind of trickles throughout your day as you look at the new possibilities that you have been choosing, maybe without even acknowledging it, and the new possibilities in this world that are available right now. And all of that as we just move forward, leap, choose, change, transform. What else is possible? As if by magic. And Beth, yay, she said she's putting it in her calendar. Awesome. So I'll see you guys next week. And yeah, please post questions, any questions that you guys have, any conversations or topics. And I will do my best to strike some conversations with you about it. Thank you so much. Oh, sorry, I just want to read this one last comment. When my ex broke up with me, I got a lump in my throat. Was on meds for a year, but after which got the first job in the UN. Oh, it was amazing. Okay, cool. So I think what she's bringing up is just this whole like this breakup, and then all these things coming and having the sense of like, yeah, maybe like all these terrible events, but then the expansion into this new possibility. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for being here. Okay, guys, have a wondrous, miraculous, magical day today. And hopefully you'll be willing to lose some more things than you were before you watched this. Bye for now.